What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're here for our Monday Night Raw review for January the 10th, 2022. We're on our way to the Royal Rumble. Damian Priest said he's going to be in the Royal Rumble, so that's news for you before the show. And I know it was news over the weekend, but I have to mention it too. Sasha Banks is out for 6 to 8 weeks. He will miss the Royal Rumble, of course, which hurts the Women's Royal Rumble match. But tonight, we have ourselves, basically the best part of the show was Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. I don't know what it is, but since Brock Lesnar has kept his ponytail, kept his beard, has come out and just been the way he's been on Monday Night Raw and on Fridays, this is the best Brock Lesnar I've ever seen. Like, this guy doesn't seem to care. Like, it's like you can look like he doesn't care. He's out there having a good time. The smiles you see on this guy's face when he's out there, you can tell are genuine. This guy is enjoying his time and what he is doing as a WWE champion and everything. And we've also seen Brock Lesnar a lot more in this run right now than we've seen in any of his run. And he's been around for 10 years now. Coming up after WrestleMania, it will be his 10th year back in WWE. That started the show. Then we had a tag team championship match, in which we have new Raw tag team champions. The Alpha Academy finally get their due and win the Raw tag team titles. The match was pretty good, and honestly, the first hour, I would say, if I can get this right. Okay, the first 45 minutes was some pretty good Monday Night Raw. Then we had a pointless six-man tag match, which didn't need to happen, with the U.S. champion on the losing end of the ticket. Then we had Seth Rollins versus Big E, which was actually a pretty damn good match, but it's Seth Rollins and Big E, so not a surprise there. We have Nikki Trash and Rhea Ripley airing their grievances to each other out in front of the world with a surprise heel turn, which my thoughts on that when we get to it. And then had Omos killing a little jobber after beating AJ Styles the previous week. And we have Miz, then we have Miz, Edge, Beth, and Maurice. Well, pretty much just Miz, Edge, and Beth, because Maurice I don't think really talked that much. Trying to sell you on the tag team match coming up at the pay-per-view, which nobody should give a shit about. And then Austin Theories versus AJ Styles with a wild Grayson Wallace appearance. Then in the main event, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Piper Niven, triple threat match #1 contender. Winner goes on to face Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble, and the losers will be in the Royal Rumble itself. Also, in this, we also got to see what's been going on with Alexa Bliss and what she's up to coming back, the journey back for Alexa Bliss. It's also highlighted tonight. So we started the show off. Brock Lesnar comes out. He hands the title off to Paul Heyman so he can undo his jacket and do his, his entrance and get the pyro to come down and everything. Then gets the title back. They walk to the ring. You get the ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Heyman. This is my client, the reigning, defending WWE champion, Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar takes the mic and says, "I love that. I just love that." Philadelphia, and then music hits. Out comes Bobby Lashley and MVP. Now, before Brock and them could say anything, in the back in Gorilla, Paul Heyman, Bobby Lashley and MVP were just watching in disgust at this guy holding the WWE title. The WWE title Bobby Lashley feels he should still have. And Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander came up, trying to play nice, trying to play cool, like, "Hey man, great to see you get your chance at the WWE Championship. We're all back together. We're all brothers in arms again. I can't wait to see you become WWE Champ again." And Bobby Lashley's like, "Wait a minute, whoa, what the hell are you talking about? I told you guys I don't need you. I told you guys I work alone. And get the hell out of here because I want nothing to do with either one of you again." Cedric's like, "Okay." And him and Shelton leave. Now, so Bobby Lashley and them come out. and just talk on the mic. Biggie takes the mic and says it's an honor to present the almighty Bobby Lashley. Lashley takes the mic and says it's an honor to finally be in the ring with Lesnar and an honor to share the spotlight with him. Lesnar laughs, and Lashley says, from one super athlete to another, it's an honor to look Lesnar right in the eye and with all due respect say this. For 20 years, you have been ducking me and running from me. Lesnar says, with all due respect, it's an honor for Lesnar to be in the ring with myself. And he must apologize. For the last 20 years, he's been winning titles in this ring and in other rings, aka the Octagon. Which, Bobby Lashley did that in TNA and Impact Wrestling too, which I know they don't like to acknowledge that. Even though they were okay with acknowledging Mickie James as the Impact Knockouts champion on Friday. But when winning titles in the other ring and other rings, so it doesn't fall on him, that falls on Lashley. He doesn't have a clue. He didn't have a clue who Lashley was until he met him in day one. So it's Lashley's fault he didn't climb the ladder of success and enter the same arena as Lesnar did. Lesnar must apologize if they would have met. He would have already beaten Lashley, and they wouldn't even be here right now. With all due respect, Lesnar says MVP and Lashley are dressed really fancy, and he asks the thread count on their suits. Lashley laughs and says Lesnar must be a comedian. Says at the Royal Rumble when he beats Lesnar for the WWE title, Lesnar starts his stand-up comedy career. He and MVP will be sitting front row because Lesnar is money as a comedian. Lesnar says he's funny in money. He does a knockout joke with Paul Heyman. And the punchline is Bobby who? Yeah. Lesnar says the final thing, and this just ended Bobby Lashley. It's impossible to beat Brock Lesnar. It's even more impossible to beat Brock Lesnar when you're a Brock Lesnar wannabe. Grabs the mic and drops it and walks out later. So, right then and there, Lesnar destroyed Bobby Lashley. Just as Lesnar were leaving, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin decided this would be the time. After Bobby Lashley just got disrespected and owned by Brock Lesnar, this would be the time to come out and attack Bobby Lashley. What the fuck? Are these people stupid? They booked these guys to be that fucking stupid? Just, wow. They get the shit beat out of them, and Bobby Lashley is left standing tall. So, we see, so that is that. That was an awesome segment. Bobby Lashley got owned by Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, again, I don't know what it is, why he's like, I've never seen Brock Lesnar have this much fun. Seem like he just go out there and do anything he wants, say whatever the fuck he wants, and it's like, this is like a different Brock Lesnar than we've ever seen since he came back at SummerSlam. Like, I don't know if he went out in the wild and got like some good deer meat or something, or a good elk or something he killed and got him all excited, but dude, this guy has been taking some happy pills or something, because this Brock Lesnar is just so much different. And I'm sitting there like, why are you gonna try to make me like Brock Lesnar? Nobody liked Brock Lesnar from, I'd say, 2013 until this year. It's like, any other time that Brock Lesnar would have won the WWE title, people would have vilified it, they would have yelled, they would have screamed, oh my god, how could they do it to Brock again, blah, blah, blah. But he won that title day one, and the crowd erupted in fucking cheer. I mean, yeah, there's some people out there who are gonna hate just because they want to hate. But my god, I've never seen this. Like, Brock Lesnar is just in a different zone now. So I can't wait for the Bobby Lashley Brock Lesnar match. That's the biggest fight feel we're gonna see that we haven't seen in a long while. We see the recent happenings between the Alpha Academy and the RKBros. Randy Orton and Matt Riddle are backstage. They make reference to Riddle's WWE NXT appearance, and Orton says he can do whatever he wants on his own time, but they lost last week because Riddle didn't tag him in. Orton goes on and is about to give Riddle some advice in case he gets lost out there, but Riddle interrupts with some comedy. He writes some stuff on his hands, and it says, when in trouble, tag in Randy. Since they're in Philly and ask Orton if he and Pat or Gino's the kind of guy, it sounds like Riddle has cheesesteaks. Cheese sticks confused with cheesesteaks. They head to the ring, and we have our Raw Tag Team title match: the RKBros versus the Alpha Academy. And honestly, I thought this was gonna end in some fuckery or something. WWE loves to do that, but Honestly, if it wasn't for the way things are going in the main card thing with Seth Rollins now going to face Roman Reigns, I could have easily seen WWE pulling, keeping the titles on the RKBros a little bit longer, having Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens be a team, have Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens be the ones to dethrone the RKBros. I could just see them doing that, but this needed to happen. Honestly, the Alpha Academy have been one of the best tag teams to WWE do nothing with. And we all remember when Alpha Academy first started. Of course, it wasn't too long after Otis was set on his own and Tucker went to Monday Night Raw, got fired eventually. It was just Otis all by his little self. Nobody knew what they were going to do next. So, here comes Chad Gable, who just got stopped using the derogatory Shorty G, back to being himself. They paired them two up, and they were a babyface team for a little bit, but you could just tell that eventually they were slowly going towards the heel side of things. And Otis shaved his hair, shaved his beard, which he became a more monster type figure. And they were just demolishing everybody. They were Chad Gable is really underrated as a promo. He cuts a great promo. And Otis just stands there looking just like a monster. Which, for whatever reason, they're having the commentary call him a tree trunk now. Not just a normal man, he's a tree trunk. So we have to call him a tree trunk over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it's like, God damn, why are you shoving it down our throats that he's a tree trunk? We get it. Shut the fuck up already. So, there's that. Now, the match was pretty good. Chad Gable, awesome. Matt Riddle, awesome. Randy Orton, awesome. Otis, the role they're using Maz, is really good too. So, did I expect RK-Bros to lose this match? I mean, if it wasn't going to be Alpha Academy to dethrone the RK-Bro, if they weren't going to put Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens together as an actual team, after losing last week, because of course Kevin Owens is dealing with COVID, his wife got COVID, he's home quarantining as well. That's why he wasn't on TV tonight. But I don't know. I don't think there was. I don't want to the Street Profits didn't need a shot again. The Commander Aziz and Apollo team was never going to work out anyway. There's really nobody else that could have won this match but the Alpha Academy. They are the tag team champions now. It's fucking great to see. That is Chad Gable's third tag team title, second Raw tag team title because he won one with Bobby Roode as well. It's the first time Otis actually has won a title in WWE. Couldn't win the NXT tag team titles with Heavy Machinery, couldn't win the SmackDown tag team titles with Heavy Machinery. But they get him and Chad Gable together, which, of course, I'm sure everybody at the start thought these guys will not work out. It's just a tag team be thrown together to get two guys that WWE are not using something to do. And I'm going to be honest, it felt like that from the very beginning up until they turned heel. They would have just been babyface goofball team. I'm like, that's typical WWE. That's what they want to do. But when they turn these guys fully heel, shaved Otis's beard, shaved Otis's head, got them dressing in about the same gear. Otis has got a singlet on. He's not wearing just small shorts, so his gut sticks out. It actually looked like he's lost some weight, too, if I am going to go out there and say it. Maybe it's just a singlet, but Otis does look like he's lost some weight, which is cool. But it's like when they started coming together as a more legitimate looking team, and Chad Gable as a heel promo is awesome. Otis just doing his thing that he needs to do. Just being who he is. This has been some great work from these guys, and it just felt like WWE was never going to go anywhere with them. They were on SmackDown, they never won the tag titles over there. It was just, why are you not doing anything with these guys? Here you go. They basically Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle was instructed tag Randy in when you lost. They wanted to make sure Randy Orton didn't get into the match at all. They wanted to be a 2-on-1 situation the entire match. That was their goal. Eventually, Randy Orton does get tagged in, which Matt Riddle like Matt Riddle, not Matt Riddle, Randy Orton's like being a house of fire. He's gearing up for the RKO. Otis stops that as he distracts Randy Orton. Otis lays out Matt Riddle on the outside, allowing Randy Orton, Chad Gable to shoot off the RKO, putting Randy Orton into the corner. Tag is made. Randy Orton comes back around, tries again for the RKO. It's pushed off into Otis. Otis with the big World's Strongest Slam maneuver. 1, 2, 3. The Alpha Academy are your new Raw Tag Team Champions. Now, yes, we're going to get a rematch, obviously. They didn't do anything afterwards to break up the RKBros yet, but it's going to happen. I totally see this going until Saudi Arabia. Maybe a little bit before WrestleMania, but Orton versus Matt Riddle is your match at WrestleMania between these two. It's going to happen on one of the nights. They need big-time matches, and Matt Riddle versus Randy Orton one-on-one, I guess, is a big-time match to them. That's exactly what you're going to get at WrestleMania. That's definitely what you're going to get. So who goes up against the Alpha Academy now? The only other team that you really have is the Street Profits for this. You're not going to have the Alpha Academy go up against the Dirty Dogs. That makes no sense whatsoever. So yeah, and we're going to get a feud between the Street Profits and the Alpha Academy, which I guess will be fine. But yeah, Alpha Academy getting the win. The crowd was shocked. I was shocked, but I wasn't. Because I totally could see the Alpha Academy being the Raw Tag Team Champions. They've done so much in the last 6 to 9 months. Otis, this is his first championship. Chad Gable's been is a 3-time Tag Team Champion now, if I'm correct. I have to definitely check on that eventually. But yeah, Otis. It's great to see Otis finally win a championship. Yes, I know last week he was not last year. Last year he won the Money in the Bank, or 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago now. Oh, it's been that freaking long since Otis won the Money in the Bank. But in 2020, during the pandemic, he won the Money in the Bank in the most goofiest way possible. And he lost it, thanks to his former friend. They never got the feud because they already got split up on the different brands, which, why would you break them up then? If you were going to fire the guy anyway, what was the point of breaking them up? His girlfriend was taken away from him. He's now on NXT, being the NXT Women's Champion, and it's just, I don't know. I'm glad to see Otis finally get his due. Him winning a championship for the first time in WWE, I'm happy for the guy because, it's a tag team championship, and Otis is definitely better in a tag team. Much earned for him. Like I said, this is Chad Gable. Chad Gable is he's a Triple Crown Tag Team Champion. He's won every championship outside of the NXT Tag Team Championship, NXT UK Tag Team Championships. So he's been there, he's done that, but this is Otis's first title. I'm happy to see the guy who, honestly, before they turned him heel and turned him into this monster behemoth that he is now, when they broke them up and they had him lose the Money in the Bank, it's like he's just going to be, Vince McMahon's going to treat him like a joke. He's going to be like a R-Truth. He's going to be running around for the 24/7 championship. He's going to be nothing. He's going to be in nothing but comedy spots. They're not going to do anything serious with him. And lo and behold, a year and a half later, he is one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions. Someone who was a fan of Heavy Machinery and someone who wanted to see this guy, they do something with this guy. And I knew they weren't going to really do anything serious when it came to the Money in the Bank briefcase. I am happy to see that Otis is actually a champion. Well deserved. I can't be mad at the fact that RKBros, which honestly I felt like was just starting to stretch. Was starting to just stretch so thin that I don't know. So, good job for them. I'm glad that it's not one of those things where they ended up breaking up because Otis can go strike on his own. They're actually going to get these guys a run, and Alpha Academy should be defending those tag team titles at WrestleMania against probably the Street Profits or who, I don't know. The backstage segment with Damian Priest and the Street Profits getting on the same page as they get hyped. Of course, the Street Profits want to know, are they going to have to deal with light side, the Jekyll or the Hyde version of the Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde version of Damian Priest. They do some comedy bits, and then they get ready for the match with the Damian Priest and the Street Profits versus the Dirty Dogs, Montez and Dirty Dogs, and Apollo Crews. I really didn't care about this match. I'll be honest, there was nothing really like anything I cared about. I mean, Damian Priest is your United States champion. He should be, watching guys go at each other to try and challenge him eventually for the United States Championship. Of course, he's going to be in the Royal Rumble, so he's not going to have a match there. But come on, guys, give me something else. This just, I did not care about this match. Why would anybody care about this match? So, we had the match here, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, the tag team of the Dirty Dogs and Apollo Crews end up picking the win as Rude fights off a spinebuster. Ziggler comes from behind, nails a zigzag on Dawkins for the pin and the win. Yes, the tag team. Yes, Damian Priest didn't get pinned, but why are you having this guy lose? Why are you having this guy be on the losing side of teams? It's like so ridiculous. I had to sit here and wonder, who gave this guy so much? Like he had, like, 2021 is the year of Damian Priest. Debuted in the Royal Rumble. He had the match at WrestleMania with Bad Bunny, which was a pretty good match. He hardly lost in 2021. Damian Priest was one of the most protected guys in the company. I mean, yeah, he did have his finisher renamed to Hit the Lights when they were doing the stupid shit with Retribution, which everyone but Mustafa Ali from that group is fired, actually, outside. Oh wait, Dominic Dijakovic's still there, isn't he? Yeah. And so is the other guy, but yeah. So it's just running off 2022, and Damian Priest he's the United States champion, and as we know, the only championship that really matters in WWE right now is the Universal Championship, and now the WWE title because it's on Brock. As long as WWE keeps them on Brock and Roman, those titles will mean something. They will mean something but if Brock loses that title, they're not going to care. Not going to push the title with anything. So it's like, why should I care about Damian Priest? You give me no reason to. The Dirty Dogs win. They beat Street Profits. They don't beat the champion. So, where does this go for anything? Probably means nothing. See what happened with SmackDown with Seth Rollins and the Universal Champion. I didn't realize it when the show was going on, like why Seth Rollins was knocking so weird, but I finally got it when they were showing the replay. He was actually knocking to the tune of the Shield's music. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. I get it. He even made reference to the Shield in the video package. They did the whole Sierra Hotel eating, that whole thing. Seth Rollins, before he comes to the ring, see what happened earlier with Bobby Lashley and them. Rollins, Lashley says he's in a great mood tonight because the Royal Rumble is on the horizon, but you may wonder, why is Seth so excited? Oh, it's real simple. Not because Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, who wants to sit through that? Not because the 30-man and 30-woman Royal Rumble, that's good but not good enough. It's because on that night, he says he will become the new Universal Champion. It is Seth freaking Rollins versus Roman Reigns. The visionary versus the head of the table. The visionary versus the tribal chief. Brother versus brother. Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins, because we have to have freaking in there. How is that after Rollins was screwed out of the WWE title match at day 1, which was supposed to be a singles match, then made into a 3-way, a 4-way, a 5-way. And he did get did he get an advocate or a special counsel? No, he doesn't need a penguin-looking snake oil salesman to do his job for him. He took matters into his own hands. Goes on and says a few things in life are certain: death, taxes, and he will beat Roman Reigns every single time. Which I believe is true. Out comes Big E. who says this is incredible news. He is so excited and so thrilled that Rollins wants to know, and you want to know why? He says Rollins is the favorite out of all the world title combatants at the Royal Rumble. He announces that he is officially entering the Men's Rumble. Says of all the things he can dream of and fantasize about, close to the top of that list is how he dreams about doing what he intended to do at day one, but doing it on the show of shows, WrestleMania 38, and that is beating Rollins to a pulp and then walking out as world champion. Rollins, of course, with his nasty laugh, laughs this shit up, and Rollins, Biggie laughs with him. Rollins says Biggie can dream all he wants. He's happy Biggie's in the Rumble. Biggie doesn't stand a chance of beating him one-on-one. Biggie says, maybe we should test this theory out tonight. Fans agree, and he says, Rollins like, no, we're not, wait a minute, what are you thinking? Nah, I ain't ready. This is just, like, this is so sudden. I'm not ready. Maybe some other town, maybe a better town, maybe next week. But Seth Rollins, and then he's like, well, here's a good idea. Well, if you don't want to do it right tonight, how about we do it tonight? How about we just do it, not just tonight, how about we do it right now? Seth Rollins is like, you know what? You're on. Get a referee out here. Let's make this official. And we have the match. And then, of course, we have the match. It's a really good match. I mean, come on. It's Seth Rollins. It's Big E. They have themselves. It's a short match. It really is. Not really. It's a nice long match. They have a good match. Not much you can say about it. That's not bad. Big E climbs to the top for a super big ending, but Rollins fights him off with elbows. Rollins misses a flying knee and has him roll through. Big E misses the big ending. Rollins goes up for the pedigree, but it's blocked. They trade strikes, and Rollins drops Big E, then nails the stomp. He's slow to make the cover. He gets the pin and the win, and he wins. Of course, Seth Rollins should win. Unlike Sami Zayn, who was the #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship, whenever that match is going to happen, because apparently Shinsuke Nakamura has had a hand injury, which has been obvious if you have you seen his hand, and it's taped up every time he comes out. But yeah, Seth should win until he faces Roman at the Rumble if he's having matches, and we'll see what happens going on. He has been advertised for SmackDown this coming Friday, so Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns will have some kind of confrontation coming up very soon. Get the same promo we got on Friday with the 19 superstars announced for the 30-woman Rumble. They did not actually mention that they didn't mention at all. Jimmy Smith, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton did not mention anything about the Impact Women's World Championship this time around. That's probably just because that's not protocol for WWE to do, and Pat McAfee is a special case where he can say something like that. It would make sense if somebody like Pat McAfee would go, is that Mickie James, the Impact Women's World Champion? That's something Pat McAfee would do, not what these guys would do. So, there's that. Out comes the Trash, Nikki Trash, and Rhea Ripley. They head to the ring, and we go to commercial break. Back from break, and Sarah Shriver's in the ring with Nikki and Rhea. They want to make an announcement. Nikki says they're here to challenge Women's Tag Team Champions Carmella and Zelina Vega to a rematch. Ripley says it's not what they talked about. They're supposed to come out and discuss the Royal Rumble. Shriver brings up speculation on the future of the tag team and asks if the team has run its course. Yeah, bitch, this shit ran the course a month ago, like after day one. Not day one this pay-per-view, but after day one of the tag team. This thing ran its course a long time ago. Ripley says they had their ups and downs, but Nikki interrupts and says, of course it hasn't. There's tension between the two now. Nikki says they're going to talk about their future tag team right now. She asks if Ripley is thinking of breaking up. Ripley says they had a great run, but it's time to go their separate ways. Nikki says teaming brings out the best of each of them. Ripley says she's probably right, but she's ready to venture out on her own. Mickey says this is about the titles. They will get them back, and Ripley says it's not about the titles. Nikki says Ripley thinks she's better because Nikki got pinned last week. Ripley says I never said that. But Nikki says she was thinking it. But Nikki says she was doing Ripley a favor with this tag team. They continue having words. Ripley says she's leaving because she doesn't like where this is headed. Nikki yells at her for walking out. Go. Nikki doesn't want to be a partner, fine, but she can't shake her hand until Ripley looks her in the eye. Says she still believes in her. Ripley that she has always believed in Nikki and always will, and hopes she does stop believing in herself, and hopes she can continue being friends. Nikki gets emotional. They hug. Ripley hugs her. Nikki gets on the top, does her superhero pose. They turn. Nikki goes to the rope, does her pose. Nikki comes back to Ripley, but drops her with a shot to the face. She beats the shit out of Rhea Ripley, pounds her, keeps her down. Nikki leaves the ring and looks back, smiling at Ripley. She says, "Almost superhero doesn't need any friends." Poses on the entranceway and is all smiles as fans boo. While Rhea Ripley tries to recover in the middle of the ring, we get replays of the beatdown. Nikki poses some more as the music plays and Ripley looks on. If she's not dropping the superhero gimmick, why the fuck are you going to turn her heel? Drop the fucking superhero gimmick. Period. Doesn't work. It's trash. Nobody likes Nikki Ash. Nobody likes any of this shit with her. At least they got Ripley away from her as a tag team. Ripley should beat her up like the next 2 weeks or so. Just beat her up a couple times and then move on. Rhea Ripley, somebody who I don't know what they're going to do with her, but she deserves better than that. We have some 24/7 garbage after this, and then of course, apparently Omos is going to beat up on Reggie next week. Who gives a shit? Omos took on this jobber guy, whoever it is, in pink tights. Beat him after another thing they did tonight. They had video package or backstage remarks on the Triple Threat tonight from the 3 ladies who are in the match tonight. Obviously, you have your favorites who you think's going to win, and this I know they do this because they try and sell you the match, but it's like, honestly, you got to do something to try and sell us the match, because this match nobody cares about. Niven has lost 3 times to Bianca Belair. Liv Morgan lost clean at day 1, which wasn't supposed to be clean, mind you. She was supposed to get her foot on the rope, but he pinned her too far away, so she couldn't get her foot on the rope. And then Bianca Belair, they just hasn't recovered since she lost the SmackDown Women's title at SummerSlam in 26 seconds. Now, Omos killed a guy, beat him in about 20 seconds. I don't give a shit. Now, here's a real scary thought, and I've heard this from other people. I'm not going to say it's my idea. I've heard and read that people think that Omos is winning the Royal Rumble. First off, is Omos even declared for the Royal Rumble? Of course he's probably going to be in the Royal Rumble. WWE's running out of men too. Even though that is what it is. I just don't want to see this guy win the Royal Rumble. Could you imagine Bobby Lashley wins back the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble? Omos wins the Royal Rumble. We go to WrestleMania. We get Omos versus Lashley, and Lashley drops jobs out to Omos for the WWE Championship. That would be the dumbest thing WWE could do, and would probably be the biggest turnoff of this company in a long fucking while. You keep turning off fans that they need to bring back or keep with them. You're gonna put Omos up there? That would be a dumb idea. Omos should be the guy who comes in, everyone stands around, and everyone tries to eliminate him as soon as he gets in the ring. That's how you do that. Plain and simple. Time for Edge to come out for a special edition of The Cutting Edge with his wife, Beth. So he comes out, he talks up a bit, brings out his wife. He butters her up by flattering her with all his words, and brings up a video package of everything that she has done. They've won 35 championships in their entire combined, which would be 31 for Edge and 4 for Beth Phoenix. And he, of course, is like, I don't know if you're trying to make me feel better, trying to butter me up for later. Flattery will get you everywhere. And it was like, oh my god. Out came Miz and Maurice. They have their back and forth. I really could care less what's going on here. Last thing that was said is that Beth Phoenix says, if Edge doesn't get to you, I'll be happy to knock your teeth out. And that is that. So, as we move on here, Edge, Austin Theory is supposed to take on AJ Styles. Before that, Kevin Patrick is backstage with him. He says going against AJ Styles tonight, he has another chance to impress Vince McMahon. He talks with Vince earlier, and Vince reminding him how good AJ Styles is. Former WWE champion, former Triple Crown champion. He's won titles all over the place. This could be a big deal for an Austin Theory. Then Kevin Patrick says if Vince McMahon had any other advice, yeah, don't do this. Sound advice. Big time sound advice. So you had AJ Styles versus Austin Theory. We go to the ring. AJ Styles comes out to pop. He's a babyface again. You know, he's been playing most babyface recently anyway. After the break, we see how Alpha Academy won the tag team titles for RKBros. We go to the ring, and out comes Austin Theory as we wait in the ring. Theory poses in the corner, takes a selfie as AJ Styles looks on, of course. Now, the biggest question going into this match was, will Grayson Waller make an appearance, or will he hold it off until tomorrow night? Grayson Waller takes on AJ Styles. Now, obviously, WWE needs as many eyes on NXT 2.0 because NXT 2.0 is failing. Very, very badly. It is failing. Every single week, it sucks air out of the WWE. It's kind of funny how NXT 2.0 is bad. It is very bad. And it's still the best 2 hours on TV WWE produces. How is that even possible? I couldn't even tell you. It's just how bad Raw and SmackDown really is. Yeah, Raw had a good moment tonight. Had a good match and a good segment early on. There's still I don't know. It's just something about NXT 2.0 that has good going in it still. That's better than what you see on Raw and SmackDown. I don't know. But the match is going on. More back and forth from the break. AJ Styles levels Theory with a sliding forearm. AJ with a suplex into a neck breaker. AJ goes up to nail phenomenal forearm. But here comes Grayson Waller from ringside to attack and get the disqualification. And AJ Styles wins by DQ. You saw it coming a mile away. Now, if you pay attention, AJ Styles and Grayson Waller, they fight for a bit. Theory comes over and thanks Waller, then takes a selfie with AJ, and leaves. AJ recovers and fights Waller into the ring, but Waller retreats and boos. AJ stands tall in the ring. He has words for Waller. AJ storms off to the back as his music plays. Does WWE think that this helped out at all? Not really. Grayson Waller comes out, and Grayson Waller gets no reaction. Really have to sit there and look at this and think, does anyone in Philadelphia even know who Grayson Waller is? And if they do, it's probably very few people. So, how am I supposed to care about Grayson Waller if he comes out there, works with AJ Styles, fights with AJ Styles, and there's not a single reaction? I mean, if you probably brought out Tommaso Ciampa, which I know he was there tonight for the main event with Pete Dunne, but if you had Tommaso Ciampa come out, he's getting a fucking reaction. If Pete Dunne comes out, he's getting a fucking reaction because people know who they are. People respect those two. They actually are two talents that people want to see succeed. Grayson Waller has not gotten there yet. Grayson Waller has a long way to go, and it just feels like WWE is desperate to get people to watch NXT 2.0. So the execs at USA don't go, yeah, this thing's not working, we're just going to cancel it. Then McMahon blames Shawn Michaels and those who are left, who haven't been fired yet, and fire them. That's just the feeling I'm getting out of this. Yeah, nobody cared about Grayson Waller making it on TV, and Grayson Waller was here. What, last week or the week before that? And had a promo with, or something, a standoff with AJ Styles on Raw. Still, nobody cared. Went backstage with Grayson Waller. Wallace says, and he's looking around trying to make sure AJ Styles doesn't jump from behind. It says the attack wasn't unhandy. He's just giving AJ Styles a preview of what's to come when they wrestle on NXT tomorrow night. Says AJ is getting taken out by the Grayson Waller effect, and he walks off in a hurry so AJ doesn't find him and beat the shit out of him. Out comes big time Becky Lynch. She's here to watch Next opponent at the Royal Rumble will be named in the triple threat match as it's Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and Piper Niven. Now, before the match happens, we get a segment, a therapy segment, because you know how good WWE does therapy segments, but no Dr. Shelby this time. So we have this therapy session here, and get her just sitting there. She's still got the old Bray Wyatt inspired gear on, and this doc is like, "No, if you admit you have a problem, it helps the process." Then he shows her a video. The video, of course, is the last time we saw Alexa Bliss, and Charbot 9000 was taking Lily and ripping it into a gazillion pieces and letting the stuffing go everywhere and pretty much beating the just freaking psyche of Alexa Bliss that was more broken than it already is. And he asks her, "Well, Alexa, how does that make you feel?" Like thirsty, grabs a glass, grabs a pitcher, fills the glass up all the way, lets it spill over a little bit, let all the water go out, and grabs him by the tie and asks, "How does it make you feel?" Like, not great. Says that's a shame because she feels dandy. It's tearing things up in the office. She's ripping papers. She's throwing shit around. She's throwing a bunch of flowers at a TV. Pretty much she's losing her mind. Screams out, she says, "See you next week," as he runs off and then screams, being reminded of what happened back in September. Mitchell's on the mic after we see what happened. Okay, hold on here. The mic and welcomes us to big time. He runs down the competitors for tonight's main event and then heads to the announce table and commentary. Out comes Bianca Belair. Out comes the Morgan and Piper Niven. All three of them want to win this match and go to Royal Rumble, win to face off against Becky Lynch, and most likely lose to Becky Lynch. I see no reason that the winner of this match is going to beat Becky Lynch. And it wasn't Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is done. Liv Morgan's time to be women's champion is done, over with. They pretty much said, "Yeah, we're done with you, and we don't want nothing to do with you as the SmackDown, as the Raw Women's Champion." We gave people a taste of what could have been. We pulled it out from under the rug immediately. You know, WWE, you could have. I'll talk about that here in a minute. So the match is going on. Nothing special really about it, and Bianca Belair looks like she's about to win the match. She hits the KOD on Liv Morgan. She's gonna get the pin. 1, 2. Becky jumps in and attacks her. Then throws her out of the ring. It's all happy and everything. Sending Bianca Belair over the timekeeper's area, I believe it was. And that's it for Bianca Belair. She's done. She's out of here. She ain't coming back. So Piper Niven grabs Liv Morgan, sets her up, does a bonsai drop. 1, 2, 3. Piper Niven is the #1 contender going into the Royal Rumble. If it was actual Piper Niven from NXT UK, from the Mae Young Classic, from Worlds Collide, from everything under Triple H's banner, I'd be like, this is going to be a damn good match. I don't trust WWE's booking at all. Of course, Becky comes in, goes to shake her hand, but then slaps her. Tries to do the manhandle slam. That ain't gonna work. And Piper Niven throws her out of the ring. And that was Monday Night Raw. So outside of Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, which was the best segment of the show, and the tag team title match in Big E vs Seth Rollins, everything else of the show was just flat, boring, or should have not happened. Now, we're going into the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble, of course, is on the final Sunday, right? It's the 28th, isn't it? It is the 28th, right? It's the 29th. Is it the 29th? Is Royal Rumble on a Saturday this year? Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's on a Saturday this year, which is weird. WWE getting into them Saturday pay-per-views this year. Just weird. Anyway. WWE could have got. We didn't need this triple threat tonight. It would have been so simple. Liv Morgan wins the Raw Women's Championship back in December. Holds it, defends it successfully at day one, but it did some kind of shitty ass finish, Becky gets counted out, Liv gets counted out, there's a double disqualification, something. You could have did something. Then you had the third match, the Royal Rumble. Then there you go. And of course, Becky will win it back, and then whoever wins the Royal Rumble, probably Charlotte. When it comes to the Royal Rumble, we have Charlotte 9000 in it. I just have a feeling that maybe because Brock and Roman are going to probably have a unification match at WrestleMania, maybe Charlotte wins the Women's Royal Rumble for the second time, which I know, lame as shit. And goes to WrestleMania, chooses to wrestle Becky Lynch. Title for title, merge the fucking divisions. You don't see the fact that they have to rely on Summer Rae and the Bella Twins and the others, Kelly I believe too, and bring back Mickie James because Impact Wrestling is so fucking desperate for some kind of attention that ever since the Royal Rumble has been, ever since there's been a Women's Royal Rumble, we have yet to get a Royal Rumble where there's actually enough women on Raw and SmackDown to fill that void. I think the closest we came was the second one, which was, 5 years ago or something? All I know is they haven't had a Royal Rumble for women that had, they have the Royal Rumble every year, of course, and they've had it for 5 years. And every year, the SmackDown and Raw women's rosters are just thinner, thinner, and thinner, and thinner. They have to rely on legends, NXT, and honestly, outside of an Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, and maybe Zoe Starks if she's back from injury. Yeah, and maybe Mandy Rose too if you want to give Mandy Rose a shot at the Royal Rumble as well. I don't see anyone else in the women's division in NXT that's worth a damn. Not Cora Jade. She is way not ready for the main roster. Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, neither one of them either. Wendy Chu, no. Casey Catanzaro has been in the Royal Rumble. I guess you can say her too. And it's They got the Legends. They have 11 spots still with the 19 spots that they've already taken up. Who knows? We'll probably see more Legends and more, I wouldn't say Legends, but former talent. Summer Rae is not a legend at all. No matter what they want to say, she is not a legend. So, yeah, that's that. Brock versus Bobby is definitely a big fight feel. Seth versus Roman, I really could care less about. We've seen it before, and yes, it's I beat Roman every single time, which of course means you're going to lose to Roman Reigns. Then Roman Reigns moves on to Saudi Arabia to face somebody, whoever that is. Do not know, do not care. They have nobody. This is how pathetic and terrible SmackDown's roster is. They had to go to the Monday Night Raw roster and be like, Seth Rollins was originally supposed to win at day one. He kind of got COVID for a week, so he kind of got screwed out of that. Then we had Brock Lesnar added to the match, so let's give him the WWE champion, the Universal Championship opportunity at Royal Rumble. Yeah, WWE just did this to themselves. John Morrison, if you didn't fire John Morrison, you could have brought him over to SmackDown and said, you know what? We'll have Roman Reigns go through John Morrison for the hell of it. We'll give John Morrison a little pop-up for a second, give him a chance to run after the Universal title. Of course, he wasn't going to win, and he would have just been somebody. Losing Drew McIntyre to neck injury is what it looks like it's going to be. He's going to be out for the majority of the year. That hurt WWE on SmackDown. SmackDown is definitely hurt because they lost Drew McIntyre. They lost Sasha for a few weeks, but she'll be back before WrestleMania. Drew won't be back. So any plans they had for Drew McIntyre versus Roman, which was going to be the match at the Royal Rumble, obviously it would have been the actual pick probably. Don't have anybody else. You're not turning Baron Corbin babyface, and nobody wants to see a babyface Baron Corbin anyway. Ricochet is nothing. Shinsuke Nakamura is injured, so he's the Intercontinental title champion for now, instead of him dropping it at day one. And he's got a hand injury. To book the match, do some kind of shenanigans. He he loses like that. It's not that difficult to figure out, Vince. But you know, we have mentally stupid people in this company. That's all there is to it. So Royal Rumble right now, just the women's Royal Rumble looks appalling. It looks bad. Men's doesn't look any better, and that's basically because Johnny Knoxville's taking up a spot that he doesn't deserve, shouldn't be in. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Miz and Maurice, I could care less about. I just want it over with, so Edge move on to maybe challenging or facing Damian Priest or AJ Styles or somebody else at WrestleMania. Get this over with. Have Beth and Edge win the match. Miz can go to the Royal Rumble, get eliminated, do nothing but clown shit at WrestleMania, and we move on from there. So much stuff to do, left to go. WWE's got a lot of thinking to do. Probably not going to think that hard. But that is your Monday Night Raw review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the Frowns Club. Find me on twitch.tv/the Frowns Club, and find me on Instagram at the Frowns Club. And I'll see you guys later.